everyone, this is Jennifer from Paper This and That. I just thought I would shoot a video real quick to show you what I've been up to lately. At work, I work in a call center. This is our slow season. We'll be slow on up until about April, so I have to keep myself occupied when I'm waiting for my phone to beep in my ear to answer the call. So, what is more portable than anything else? What kind of thing can I do besides reading a book? Well, there's this wonderful world of Zentangles. Zentangles is adult doodling in a way. It's meant to be meditative, therapeutic. Basically, what it is shapes. It's filling in shapes with repetitive patterns. So, with that said, some of the things that I've been doing is, here's a few pieces of my work. I did photograph a couple of them. Here is a black and white bookmark. It's Zen doodles or Zentangles, and it's just like an abstract art. I did this one to represent kind of like a scenic sky view. I am no ways near professional, or I like to say even good. The first bookmark I kind of like, but I am still learning. I'm trying to learn how to do some shading. There's this one I started. I actually started Zen Doodle a couple years ago, and got away from it. I did a couple pieces, and that was it. This one was this past spring where I just did this flower. But then recently, I learned how to do this basket weave type pattern. It took me a while to figure it out. And so I added that to my background. This one was done last year. Actually, no, the beginning of this year, 2015. So this was probably before we got busy this spring. This is another one I did recently. And I mounted it on cardstock. And this stamp here was from Close to My Heart stamp. I think it was from one of the Cricket collections, actually. And then this is my little practice work sketchbook. I made this with my bind-it-all and a popcorn box, and cut up sheets of copier paper. This is just a practice sheet in the beginning. This is where I was learning how to do that basket weave. Some of these are good, some of these are mediocre. Some of the patterns are actually hard that I actually need more practice with. But this here is where I'm working. There's a book that I have. It's called One Zentangle a Day. And it's a 6-week course, but of course I've been doing multiple days in one time. But each day it gives you a couple patterns to practice. And then you're supposed to compose a design using those patterns for the day. This one was the next day. The first couple pages aren't labeled, but this one was the next day. And there's my little tiny tile down there. They call them tiles, but they say you need all this expensive stuff. I do have the micron pens that I use for this, but I don't have the Zentangle tiles or anything like that. I just use regular paper. And so you can see some of them I'm better at than others. Still going to take a lot of practice. This one was just total disaster. I had a hard time with this with day 5. But the way my tangle turned out, instead of having a border, I just did it freehand without any kind of border around as a guide. Because you lightly pencil in a border, then do a bunch of shapes inside that they call a string. And you fill in those shapes. This I did freehand. It almost looks like a snail. Day 6, This one was not easy. As you can see, my practice one up there does not look anything. You know, that one's not too bad. But when I put it, you put it all together, and then you're supposed to build on this, like use tangles from previous lessons. As you can see here, I did this one, and I could see now that I'm progressing where I can add some things. This one, I think they only did, it wasn't necessarily introducing a new pattern, it was modifying existing patterns. This one here, I thought was pretty neat. This one I started learning to do some shading. That's why I say flat to 3D. This one I just totally screwed up. I'm trying to remember what I used on that. I think I used, it might have been my Prisma pencils. I got a set of Prisma Color Premier Color Pencils, a set of 132. Got a lot of colors. This one's not exactly one of my best works, but again, it takes practice. Some of these I started, you know, this is a tangle from the previous day. See what I mean by what I was talking about a border? And then I just divided it off and did my designs in each one. This one I did yesterday. Trying to learn how to shade with my Prismacolor pencils. And it's coming along. I'm learning. This also was yesterday that I just lifted black and white and shaded with a graphite pencil. And this is my tangle for those days, plus incorporating previous tangles. You know, that you can see them here. This one's a modified one. Instead of being rounded, it's more teardrop shaped. And there's this one. This is all these I did yesterday. This was very difficult. I had a tough time with that one. But I started getting the hang of it in here. Here I just totally messed it up and just came up with my own little pattern going away from this. But this here, but it kind of blends into that. This was hard too. This tangle here was hard. This one's not too bad. And I noticed that I did not use this tangle in this. But I'm not going to go back now and redo this, you know. But I did use this one and this one. Somehow I should have incorporated this somewhere. I might be able to go back and do it like behind some of these or something. But I'm not sure. But that's, and then today, this is where I'll start on day 16. And the other thing I want to show, tried something else. This is my good sketchbook that I just got. And I did this hot air balloon. I'm not done with this piece yet. This morning I took my Close to My Heart watercolors. This is not watercolor paper, so it is a little bit crinkly. I did take my heat gun to try to smooth it. But with my watercolor, Close to My Heart watercolors, I did that background, and then I'll just do some tangles around here to finish this piece off. But that's what I'm up to. That's my Zentangling World right now. And I hope to show you some more pieces in the near future. Thank you for watching.